All right. Welcome once again to the beatzillapdx official news break. This is beatzillapdx official. Good day, ladies and gentlemen. We have a story about a comedian that is under fire, and he responds to his cruise ship N-word joke backlash. And this comedian is the guy that you see on your screen. His name is Rob O'Neill. So Mr. Rob O'Neill decided that he would jump out the window and try to be edgy. But this person is not new to this type of these type of antics. So this article, let's see, I think this is actually from TMZ. Now, see, when you have these type of people who typically come out here and put their foot in their mouth after being racist, if y'all remember the guy from Seinfeld, he went out there doing the same thing and then tried to hide under the guise of comedy. Well, the problem with that is when you do that, you are not actually being honest because you're just doing racist jokes. And we always understand that the history of PC supremacy definitely comes from and starts with jokes. That's the history of the Klan, by the way. That's how they got started. Also, Jim Crow, how they also got started with that type of treatment, anti-Black treatment, of course, in America. So, with that being said, we are sure that and certain that Rob O'Neill is not completely foreign to that understanding, of course. And of course not. That's why he's using the word. And this person has actually a history of making racist jokes. And we'll get to that too. So it says Rob O'Neill tells TMZ there's more to the story about him than getting canned over his use of the N word during a cruise stand up comedy set. And the big picture, according to him, is that most of the crowd actually was on his side. Yeah, I'm sure in 2022, there's a bunch of Black people roaming around America that just cannot wait to pay so much money to get on a cruise ship to be called the N word. See, this is the type of thing when you get people that are already suspected white supremacists talking for people and talking for the people that they're actually insulting. That's even more entitlement, by the way. But reading on, he says the crowd that night consisted of mostly African Americans, and he also says that the joke he made was race related, not racist. Okay. While he denies using the N-word multiple times, he seems to be admitting that he might have used it once. Okay. But goes on to say that while everyone else found it funny, two audience members did not. And they are the ones who made a stink. Now here's an update. Rob tells us that what he did is remind them about what the host of the show had told the audience at the beginning. That if you are easily offended, leave. And when he realized that they were at a crossroads with the hecklers, hecklers? Okay, got it. He suggested they bounce. No, he told them to get the F out. So who wrote this? Talking about they bounce? No, he didn't talk like with urban slang. He told them to get the F out. So stop it. So which they did. And if you see the video on TMZ, or you see it on the screen, or you see it on TikTok rather, you could actually see the caption saying, and then you hear him saying, "Get the F out." So I don't know why they're changing the tone of what he said. Well, the video was posted though, and the rest is history. Rob insists he wasn't fired for what he said, but more so because someone tattled. Let me repeat that. He said that he really wasn't fired because of what he said in the video, but it's more because someone tattled without any context or point of view. Yeah. See, oh, and I'm gonna keep reading because this gets worse. This is the mind of a SWS, because they like to still keep moving out here like as people don't see them, and so he's still talking with these old like Rush Limbaugh, uh, Bill Maher type jokes, and it's not landing well. So he's no George Carlin. So let's not even try that either. Well, George Carlin was racist. Stop. Different time and a different class and a different group of people. One last thing. Rob says he believes in unspoken contract between the comedian and the folks who come to see their shows. Namely, that a comic is allowed to say things that you obviously wouldn't say in a private conversation. And that comedy is by nature caters to that concept. No, comedy does not necessarily cater to that concept when it's racist. And we see that because nobody runs around here making little hat people jokes. So we know that's not true. And it's not like you can make a whole bunch of racy Asian jokes right now either. So we know that's not true. The point is, black people still not having a protected class status officially, like we should, like other groups do, then these people still feel that they are able to just come out and say whatever they want to say. And then all is forgiven. See, here's the thing. Remember when Nick Cannon just had people on his platform? He had to apologize. He got fired. He lost endorsements. He lost work. This person only lost one job because they have to do damage control. Here's the thing, though. He's not new to this type of talk. And again, we'll get to that. He also acknowledges some of his old tweets don't look so great in 2022, but also says he is a victim of cancel culture, which doesn't allow for personal growth. You don't say. Well, with that being said, family, you see what's on the screen right now. Let me pivot to this photo on your screen right now. So this is literally his this is his post. And the one that you see from Carnival is that's their response in all of the backlash. But look at the dates. This guy has been at this for a long time. So the question is, why was he ever even allowed to even be on a ship working at a comedic capacity at all, representing Carnival Cruises in the first place? But nonetheless, saying that he's a victim of cancel culture, it seems like there's a lot of people that were a victim of his racism. And now that this has came out, there have been other tweets that have resurfaced that other groups are trying to now jump on the bandwagon about. So he's had some racist Mexican tweets. He's had some racist Asian tweets. And so now those groups, of course, because foundational Black Americans are jumping on the mix first, now they are, with no hesitation, following suit and copycatting the move, as always, and attaching themselves to now this Carnival Cruise Line situation. So it reads on to say, Rob also says that since this story took off, he's been subjected to a lot of hateful and vicious messages from people online, which is why he scrubbed his socials. Well, as you can see, that he didn't get to him soon enough. And there's a bunch of screenshots on your screen right now as we speak. A white comedian is in hot water after being accused of using the N-word multiple times. Okay, I don't know why that started again. Oh, okay. This is in reference to the video. And so this lady, this sister, she called him out. And on the screen caption, it reads, so Carnival Cruise right now. Oh, so on Carnival Cruise right now, they are perfectly fine hiring someone who uses the N-word multiple times in his show. And when he issues, and when the issue was raised, he said in quote, if you're offended, get the F out. Yeah, that's real sensitive there. For a person who has this history of tweeting that you see on your screen, this isn't 2022, that's 2012, 2013. These aren't new posts that this guy's been doing it. So this guy's been a very anti-black slanted comic for years. His whole career base is pretty much based in anti-blackness. So again, I have to ask, why would they even have hired this man in the first place on a ship where people, if he's going to have black folks in the audience, they paid good money to be there, not to be insulted and called hurtful, harmful, derogatory names by a person that they are employing. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, you see Carnival hopped out there, and we do not tolerate the language or behavior. This person in question is no longer welcome on Carnival cruise ships, and the rest of his scheduled appearances have been canceled. So they did step up and immediately act. So that was good. But again, I have to say, what kind of vetting process was going on there that he was there in the first place? She didn't capture the alleged use of the slurs on camera, but she eventually posted an update clarifying they weren't allowed to record during OReilly's set, a common regulation at comedy clubs. She was also offended, though, when he used the N-word casually during the performance, so she snagged the quick clip and called him out online. And so that's how all of this really came about. So think about what he was doing, family. He was using the guise of basically a non-disclosure agreement type of thing, and then berating his own audience under that guise. That shows a very ungrateful dirtbag, if you ask me, because you know that you'll have black people in your audience, and you're using the smokescreen or cover of, oh, well, you guys can't tape this recording. So I guess you could just walk out and say, well, I was kind of offended. But there's no proof. So when you go to management, then everybody says, well, do you have any evidence that he said this, or any other people coming to say it? And of course, it'll only be all the black folks. Now, so I would have to say this probably wasn't the first time that this came up. This was the first time it went public. So let's keep it a buck. Why was he there in the first place? Anyway, so yeah, I already read you what their Carnival's response was, but let me just read you. Oh, let me give you some of his quick resume, because they wanted to put that out there too. Rob has quite the resume. Up to this point, he's appeared on Last Comic Standing, America's Got Talent. Last Comic Standing and America's Got Talent. That's those are competitions, not landing spots or holding specials or comedy tours, or like we see all the time, all of these black comics. But he's able to go get a steady gig. That's cool. And was even correspondent for The Tonight Show with Jay Leno. All right. Well, great for that guy, right? Let's see. Let's look at some of these old tweets. When I look at my fellow man, I don't think, quote, that's a black guy, or, quote, that's a Puerto Rican. I think, quote, that's guy's a felon. All right, man. Okay. Now this is this guy's comedy. These are his tweets. Let's see. Here's another racy tweet. I guess he was trying to be witty and funny. This is from 2011. Did you know 1 in 15 black men has HIV? That's a pretty insane statistic. Every NBA team probably has one dude with AIDS. Mm-hmm. Here's another. For me, people are like ski slopes. I'm scared of the black ones. That one's from 2013, January. Here is another from November 25th, 2011. Today, obviously, this is the day after Thanksgiving. So, after he was celebrating the genocide of the Native Americans, he celebrated this way by saying, "Today, every store acts like a crackhead broke in. Quote, come in at 4 a.m. and buy a TV half off. Guess that's why they call it, quote, Black Friday." 2011, family, and then 2009, 2010. These are old tweets. How did this guy make it on your company roster for people? And I know they just had especially on Carnival, you just had one of the biggest black um, group cruises in modern history, especially since the pandemic with Melanin at Sea. They've even had to experience things in Grand Turks and Caicos with another black individual who had an issue with black folks. Not saying that there's an issue going on there, but hey, I'm not a cruise vlogger, so I can actually say freely what we see. Y'all might want to get them folks right and correct. With all of the free promotion that they were able to give by having a positive, constructive black event on your cruise line, to still have to be treated as if they are less than, with over 200 people on the cruise ship, just a couple months later to have this guy drop. That means this guy could have very well been on that ship doing his comedic routine. Because, you guys are switching people out. So, I mean, that could have went very differently. But even still, with the Turks and Caicos thing, you have that going on. And not to just mention that, when black folks that people like seeing are announcing they're going to be on your cruises sell out. So we just have to keep that in mind when we're dealing with this new reality that we are living in, that you will have to show the melanated black folks respect at all given turns. And no, it's not a subjective thing if you're going to call black folks the N-word. No. That part is a day of the past. So with that being said, shout out to everyone who made sure this story did not go unnoticed, because we have to address anti-blackness at sea. Shout out to you, Rob O'Reilly, you dirtbag racist. Thank you for exposing yourself, and I hope that this is a learning lesson for everyone, especially Carnival Cruises. You offer an experience of happiness for all different types of people. You might want to make sure that the people who interact with those people are those type of people. Or you'll end up with things like this having to do damage control. And of course, I would just have to wonder about his jokes on the fights. So if you knew that he was this kind of comic, it's kind of interesting that he never made any jokes about all of those fights with black folks on Carnival Cruises. Just an observation. So with that being said, family, this has just been a very quick and real quick, if you haven't got a chance, go check out TMZ. I was just recently on TMZ yesterday. We're talking about Nia Long, so you can go check that out. That's the screenshot from that. So you can go check that out. As well as, of course, we'll be having other broadcasts this week. Good grief, what's going on here? All right, there we go. So look at this right here. Just take a good look at the long history of tweets from this dude. When you have individuals like this and you have a system of supremacy that will support this type of behavior and only call it out when it gets called out by the people who are offended, that is saying something. That is saying a lot. So with that being said, I hope that y'all have a blessed day, and stay tuned. Like, share, subscribe this video, subscribe to this channel, hit the notification bell, hit the word all, so you will be notified anytime that this broadcast channel goes live. Of course, you can see the donation tag at the bottom, so you can always do that. Of course, now this channel has super chat and also the super thanks. So if you are watching this video, you are in the chat, or if you are watching the replay, then you can hit that super chat, or you can hit the super thanks if you want to. Peace, power, blessings, and protection be up on all of you who support this channel. So with that being said, family, we are out of here. Black first, black first, black first. Shalom, y'all.
If you're tired of being censored on social media, join 6zeros.net. It's black owned, black operated, and black moderated. And we make sure it stays a safe space for us to talk about all things black culture. We also got some cool gear like the FDM cotton crew neck, the Fearless Ancestors tee, hats, and more. Check us out at 6zeros.net.
Hey girl, why are you so sad?
I just got banned from Twitter again.
Should have been on 6zeros.net. Ah.